Hey everyone, I hope you're having a good day. I want to get philosophical here, okay? I want to talk about broadening your horizons and opening your perspective of things. And we're looking at models of knives that were out 10 years ago. But anybody that knows me knows that I'm a stubborn sumbitch. And I've been avoiding this style of knife for a long time, for over 10 years. I've seen people, Spyderco is what we're talking about. Okay, Spyderco, but I've been avoiding Spyderco because I don't like holes in my blades. You see that? You can see through it. I don't like holes in the blade because I've always felt like it really weakened it. And I do still feel like a solid blade is stronger than a blade with a hole in it. But with that being said, I saw a review online by Blade HQ. Don't do this at home. They had this model, a Spyderco Tenacious, and they had 380 pounds hanging on the front of this, and it didn't fail. And that started to change my opinion. So here we have a liner lock or a Walker liner lock, right? Hopefully you guys can get a good view of that. It's a good lock. And yeah, so sure enough, I saw that video a few weeks ago. Last weekend I was walking through Wally World and I saw this and I said, let me see that Tenacious. I kind of want to look at it. So I held it and I just saw that hole and I'm thinking, here we go. I'm going to do it. All these years I've been avoiding it. I'm going to do it. So flipped it open, buttery smooth, lightning fast action. Then I put my hand on it and I said, damn, that's pretty ergonomic. It feels really good. See the jumping here? Hopefully you guys can see that. Try to focus there. It's really good. It's kind of a ramp of jumping, a thumb ramp. But if you're thrusting or cutting, it feels really good in your hand. So this is the Spyderco Tenacious. It's 3 3/8 inch blade, and it's 4.2 ounces, pretty light. And then this was sitting next to it. So let me look at that one too while you got it out. This thing's friggin' huge. This is the Spyderco Resilience, okay? So there's 4 knives in this line, all right? So there's the Ambitious, the Persistent, the Tenacious, and the Resilience, okay? This blade is 4 1/4 inches. It looks like a kitchen knife. People were talking about doing food prep in their kitchen with this thing. Okay, I don't buy pocket knives to do food prep. I guess they just want to use their knife. It's fine. It's cool. But I understand what they're saying because it's a flat grind. Both of these are, the whole series. See that line? It goes all the way up. It's flat grind. It's not a hollow grind, right? And let's look at the steel. Hopefully you guys can see that. 8CR13 MOV. Some people are critical of this because it's not the latest and greatest super steel on earth. This is a value knife, guys. Remember that. I've also read a lot of good things about how Spyderco heat treats their blades and they know what they're doing. So they're fair enough, easy enough to sharpen, but they'll hold an edge for you. And that's important. So I'm okay with this steel. It doesn't bother me. One thing that I like is you have a 4-way pocket clip. So you can move this around however you want. I'm left-handed. Fits in the pocket just like that. So when I'm reaching in, I'm not touching the blade or going near it or anything like that. And then when I pull it out, that thing is a razor. The Spidey hole. This is my first review of a Spyderco. I know there's a million reviews, but again, this video is about broadening your horizons and opening your perspective because I am humbled. I'm actually humbled. It feels really good. You can also use this Spidey hole with gloves. We have horses. This morning, I took this knife out and I had gloves on, flipped it open, cut a bale of hay open, fed it to the mare, and it felt good. It worked. Would I take this to the end of the world? I know that's always something I ask during my reviews and it's something I talk about. Would I take this to the end of the world with me? Hell no, I wouldn't. Let's do some comparison. Here we have the steel wheel lantern. I just did a review on this knife. Love it. 3.75-inch blade. Not a small knife. Then I have the Benchmade 710. This has been discontinued. Out of these four, I feel like the 710 is probably the most durable tactical knife out of this collection. I do have high standards when we're talking about self-defense and everything else. If I was going to the end of the world, I'd take that sucker. M3 World War II trench knife. I'd take that to the end of the world and show them what's up. So that's my standard. If I was taking a folding knife, it better be a beast. Maybe my Chris Reeve Umnenzon. I may do a review on that someday. It is a tough, tough folder. Okay. So anyway, you have an idea of what we're looking at. And we're looking at G10 scales. You hear that? If you don't know what G10 is, it's a fiberglass laminate. So it's layers of glass with an epoxy resin. It's really light and it's really durable. So my 710 that I just showed, this thing's been through a ton of stuff and you can't really tell because it's really, really tough. The pocket clip, I'm fine with this. A lot of people paint it black because they don't like a silver pocket clip hanging out. A lot of people call it a spoon clip because it's just kind of the shape. It's easier to fit on your pocket and it doesn't tear up your clothes, which is always nice. I talked about the flat grind. You know, I'm good with that. It's a pretty thick blade. I don't have the specs on that right now with me. Pretty thick blade. I'm sure you can break the tip of that off, but yeah, we have an open pillar construction. Hopefully you guys can see that. They drilled holes in the steel liners. Do you see that? And it's just to lighten the knife, but keep the integrity of the handle. I like that. It's a nice touch. Okay. So again, I've been avoiding these knives for a while, but not really avoiding Spyderco products. So of course I have this. When you are poor folk like me, you have the value knives, and to me, this is my opinion, and let's put this all in perspective. I feel like for the money, let's be clear, this is the best knife sharpener to maintain an edge that's out there. So I have a fine and a medium stones in here, rods. I have the diamond, which I bought separately, and I have the extra fine. This does everything that I need it to for my hunting knives, my everyday carry knives, and that's pretty much it. Okay, I have fishing fillet knives. This handles everything. If you watch the video on YouTube with the Spyderco Sharp Maker from the owner, he does like toenail clippers and all this stuff. Anyway, for the money, if you're reprofiling a knife, you're going to need something more in-depth, and you could spend, you know, $500, $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 on a knife sharpening system. If you have the money, awesome, and good for you. You know, that's great. But I don't. So they have other knives. So this is what I'm talking about. This is where it's made, okay? Love it or hate it. And I'll tell you, to tell you the truth, I hate to love this knife, and I love to hate it. It really has humbled me, and I know it is from China. They do have American models, and they're $150 for a PM2, probably is what you're looking at. This is $42, $49, okay? So pretty good for what you're paying. And again, hopefully this just gave you a perspective. I just figured, how can I have a good opinion and a good perspective of things if I'm unwilling to get outside of the box, if I'm unwilling to try things that I've never tried before and experience things that I've never experienced before? Because before I hated on this. I hated the Spyderco, okay? But now that I have one and I exposed myself to it and I took the leap, I actually like it. And I would tell someone to get the Tenacious for an EDC. It's ergonomic, fits in your pocket, it's light. Phosphor bronze bushings, you know, has good stuff for $42. This is huge, but I'll probably still carry it, and it's cool. It's part of the series, whatever. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. So do something that you haven't done before. Open your perspective. Thanks for watching. I'll have more reviews soon.